Hey guys, welcome to the designsketchbook.com, and today we discover the app concepts on iPad Pro. But first of all, I have here a very special glove which is going to help me to solve one of the major problems, that issue that I have with the iPad Pro for drawing was the palm conflict. And before starting, I invite you to download the Designer Starter Kit to make your first steps in perspective. So let's start. So I'm discovering more and more the app concept, which I'm spending a bit more time with these last few days, which I can already see a lot of potential into it. Product design sketching, and this is why I decided to make a quick video on it. And I would still need some more time and practice to give a proper test about concepts. But I felt that it could be a good sharing sessions together. So what we are going to do today is like, I'm practicing some general shape, but we are going to complexify, I would say, on the go. And that, like, for example, you can see this roundness here. I'm using some construction line right here for the angle of this roundness, and it's always to be like that. We will have a global view, then you add some construction line to add some details which are going to be following the perspective and to make sure that it feels good on the overall. And as you can see here is that how I use iPad is that I could have used my two fingers to actually rotate the canvas, but I do personally like to treat the iPad like a piece of paper, a piece of A4 paper, which is actually very close to the size of the iPad itself. And this is why I have like my left hand, like you can see on the top corner, that is actually helping me to rotate the iPad itself to get the straight line that I want. So as you can see, I keep rotating the iPad maybe like 200-300 times per drawings. I can't even count, but it's like something that will come natural and which is going to be much faster than the double touch to rotate your canvas. So I like to use it like a traditional media, I would say. I really like the gel pen feeling, and actually you can play with it with the pen pressure. It's really important as a product designer when you draw to choose some pen pressure that some are very light and some are much bolder, and you have infinity of variety in between that, depending on your style, how much you want to play. And what you have to remember is that the light lines are going to be very essential to draw the construction lines, such as contour line, how you're going to build up your drawings, and after that you're going to bold the lines that are going to allow you to better understand what are the volume that you want to showcase. For example, here you have a negative space, and this border line inside here is actually helping you to understand what's going on right here. So remember, like whenever you draw the construction lines, you always have to follow your perspective, making sure that whenever like you want to draw a construction line, you are comparing beside the neighbor lines, that I like to call, to make sure that this is not going to be slanted. And here I'm using some hatching to give some contrast for the inner side and outer side of the volume. So I'm going to add here on below bottom left, on the bottom left of these 3D forms. So it's pretty fun here, because what we want to do is to create some random forms, random 3D forms, and actually this is what we can play from something general. And here I'm adding a bit of ellipses, and I also add the minor axis, which is going to help me to give the ellipse in the right direction as well. So it's like drawing on the flow. Is like you're drawing something, you don't think too much in advance, you just try to add detail by details, just because you want to exercise your perspective right here. And as you can see, what we can do as a rule also is that skip fast, try fast and skip fast. Like for example, the box that we have just drawn before is that if you don't feel inspired by it, just give it up and go to the next one. And for example, for this one, I'm just started with a cylinder base, and then I got expanded, and then I go to the details, and then I do something which is more intricate, more complexified inside. And this is why it's very important for you guys to, and whenever you draw, to keep focus on your construction lines, and also play once again with the good variety of pen pressure as well. So here's a prism base. So I invite you to try with some different base, some rectangle, some cylinder, some prism, and so on. And this is how like you're going to help you guys to train your focus whenever you're drawing your mechanical pieces, for example, on your product designs. So it's just like take it as a game, I would say. Like what I discover right here on this concept app is that maybe I should have played with something which is much thinner for the light lines, because it started to be quite overwhelmed, or maybe like a bigger sketch maybe, but it's going to be better next time. And this is what you need to remember, is that more you practice, more you will do mistakes, and the more you will iterate and do better and better. Alright, so this is quite busy from the overall, but it has been a very fun session of drawing right here, which has been completed in 45 minutes. And I invite you to just take your time, download the app concepts, and have fun. Alright, so see you on the next video.